In the heart of the desolate Louisiana bayou, where the suffocating humidity clung to the air like a malevolent force, there existed a swamp known only by the locals as the Accursed Marsh. Few dared to venture into its twisted depths, for tales of unspeakable horrors whispered through the cypress trees and murky waters. In the midst of this forsaken realm lived a figure obscured in darkness, a creature that the swamp dwellers called the Wraith of the Murk. Daniel, a skeptical journalist with an insatiable curiosity for the unknown, arrived in the decaying town of St. Virent, drawn by the spine-chilling legends that surrounded the Accursed Marsh. The locals, with their haunted eyes and hushed voices, warned him to stay away, but Daniel scoffed at the superstitions, dismissing them as the products of overactive imaginations. Determined to uncover the truth, Daniel hired a local guide named Ezekiel, a weathered man whose face bore the scars of countless mosquito bites and swamp hazards. As the two embarked on their journey, the air thickened with an otherworldly tension, and the croaking of unseen creatures seemed to mock their intrusion into the sacred confines of the Accursed Marsh. The moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow upon the water's surface, as the duo navigated through the labyrinth of twisted mangroves and stagnant pools. Ezekiel's gaze darted nervously from shadow to shadow, his hands trembling as he gripped the paddle. With every stroke, the oppressive darkness clawed at their senses, and a malevolent energy seemed to seep through the very pores of the swamp. As they delved deeper into the accursed heart of the marsh, the oppressive atmosphere thickened, and the air grew colder, as if the swamp itself recoiled from their presence. Daniel, undeterred by the mounting unease, urged Ezekiel to press on, eager to unravel the mysteries that lurked beneath the surface. The swamp, once a symphony of nocturnal sounds, fell into an ominous silence. The water, previously teeming with life, became still and reflective like a black mirror. An otherworldly fog coiled around the boat, distorting reality and obscuring any semblance of direction. Unease gripped Daniel, but his determination eclipsed his fear. In the heart of the murky expanse, they stumbled upon a dilapidated shack, its rotting stilts barely holding it above the stagnant water. Ezekiel hesitated, warning Daniel of the curse that clung to the forsaken dwelling, but the journalist's relentless pursuit of truth overpowered caution. They anchored the boat and approached the decrepit structure, its sagging shutters creaking in the ghostly wind. Inside, the air was thick with the stench of decay and dampness. Shadows danced across the walls, and the silence was shattered by the occasional drip of water echoing through the desolation. As Daniel scanned the room with his flashlight, he caught a glimpse of something unsettling in the corner, a pair of luminous eyes staring back at him. Ezekiel's hand clamped down on Daniel's shoulder, his voice trembling. "The Wraith of the Murk," he whispered, barely audible above the oppressive stillness. The eyes in the shadows glared with an otherworldly intensity, and a ghastly figure emerged from the darkness, a grotesque humanoid shape, draped in tattered moss and reeking of decay. The Wraith's elongated fingers reached out, and the temperature plummeted. Frozen in terror, Daniel could feel the oppressive weight of unseen forces bearing down on him. The creature, a swamp-dwelling specter with hollow eyes, emanated a palpable malevolence that seemed to consume the very essence of the Accursed Marsh. As the Wraith approached, a chorus of anguished whispers echoed through the swamp, revealing the tormented souls trapped within the murky depths. The apparition's voice, a guttural symphony of despair, reverberated through Daniel's mind, unraveling the fabric of his sanity. Ezekiel, paralyzed with fear, pleaded with Daniel to escape the wretched abode, but the journalist's curiosity had become his curse. The Wraith, sensing the trespasser's defiance, unleashed a torrent of haunting visions, a tapestry of nightmares that clawed at Daniel's consciousness. In the grip of the supernatural onslaught, Daniel witnessed the tortured spirits of those who had succumbed to the Accursed Marsh. Faces distorted in agony, hands reaching out from the inky depths, and anguished cries echoed through the corridors of his mind. The swamp, it seemed, had an insatiable hunger for the souls that dared to disturb its peace. As the apparition's malevolent grip tightened, Daniel felt his sanity slipping away. The walls of the shack seemed to close in, trapping him in a suffocating embrace of darkness. Desperation clawed at his throat as he grappled with the realization that the legends were not mere tales but harbingers of an ancient, insidious force that sought to consume all who dared to challenge its dominion. Ezekiel, spurred by a surge of primal fear, managed to pull Daniel away from the spectral clutches of the Wraith. With a final, haunting wail, the creature retreated into the shadows, leaving the shack to succumb once more to the suffocating silence of the Accursed Marsh. The two men fled the cursed realm, their souls forever scarred by the encounter with the swamp-dwelling entity. As they emerged from the darkness, the moon cast its feeble light upon their trembling forms, and the distant cries of unseen creatures echoed through the stillness. Daniel, forever changed by the horrors he had witnessed, could no longer dismiss the supernatural tales as mere folklore. The Accursed Marsh, with its spectral inhabitants and malevolent guardian, stood as a testament to the ancient forces that lurked within the heart of the swamp, a realm where darkness and despair held sway, and the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred into a nightmarish tapestry of eternal suffering.